Hi, welcome to the Pursuit of Truth. I was just listening to this on Sky News about Prince Andrew and Mrs. Giuffre have this whole Jeffrey Epstein thing of her accusing Andrew of sexually assaulting her when she was, I think, 17. Him claiming that the photo's not real and he doesn't have any recollection. And now they've agreed some financial amount of money to make the case go away. But I don't think these things should be allowed. It just seems so wrong. Why would an innocent man need to give £1 million to someone to make the case go away? I mean, Jeffrey Epstein paid this lady to not talk about her friends already. I think it was $500,000, wasn't it? But then he was found out to be a paedophile and in this ring of arranging children, etc. Why would the system, the courts, allow this to take place? If you want to get justice, then this has to be heard. Otherwise, just rich and celebrities, all they're going to do is just pay people off to keep their silence. And doesn't anyone believe in bringing justice anymore? Is it all just about money? I don't know, it just seems so wrong to me. You can listen to what they're saying now.
Agreed to settle on advice, I think very good advice, and I think they can both leave the hearing, leave the case, put it behind them and move on with their lives to the extent that they can.
And so from here then, where do we go? Will this come with any conditions on the path of Virginia Giuffre in terms of what she can reveal? Can she, for example, go on and write a tell-all book?
That's a very interesting question, isn't it? I mean, as you were reporting, neither side is saying any more at the moment. What we don't know is whether there is a non-disclosure agreement. You would have thought that Prince Andrew would have requested that as part of the settlement, that she shouldn't write any more about this. Whether he would be able to enforce that, if that were to happen, I don't know. But nevertheless, that's certainly something that his lawyers would have considered. From her point of view, I suppose she might wonder what he might choose to say. I don't think he will say anything, but he may be more worried about what she might say. But you would have thought that both sides have agreed that they won't say any more. That's certainly what they're saying today, and that's what you would expect to continue for the future.
Absolutely. And also just, of course, then looking at everything that's coming up. And as you said, also the likelihood of him obviously retaining his positions are extremely slim there, isn't it, as you said?
He's lost his many of his titles, and I mean, obviously the royal family, they wish, but nevertheless, it doesn't look as if he's going to get them back. After all, this has happened. He has had this case, and we have the consequences that you see. So from that point of view, he has obviously caused embarrassment to the royal family. On the other hand, as I say, he's not admitted anything. He's not apologised for anything he did as such, apart from his regret for his association with Jeffrey Epstein. Who knows what arrangement has been reached within the royal family to reinstate him to some extent. I think the royal family is sensitive to public opinion, and they will be looking to see how people react to this settlement and what it actually says. But that's really a matter for the royal family.
What it says is this man is probably guilty, and he's got enough money to pay off and get away with his crimes. It shouldn't be allowed, because then how are you ever going to keep rich and celebrity people to account, like every ordinary person? Because an ordinary person wouldn't be able to pay off someone enough money to get them to stay quiet and never talk about it. It just seems like justice hasn't been served, and it seems like we all know that he's probably done something, but he's going to get away with it. Whereas people who are, say, ordinary people have to face the full law of the land and justice, and if they do something wrong, if you do the crime, you should do the time, kind of thought goes out the window. What message does this send, really, for truth and justice? It just what it endorses is that if you know the system, if you've got enough money and power, you can get away with whatever you want to do. That's the broken system that we live within. But it seems so wrong because, yeah, maybe he is innocent, but I don't know. I would have thought an innocent man would try and stand and say his piece. So I mean, that does leave a big doubt, because that's what most people are going to be thinking, that he is a guilty man, he's just got a lot of money and power, and that he can get away with it. I'm just unfortunate that the lady doesn't want to fight this and have the truth, or maybe she realised that the chances of her winning was slim because he's probably got the best lawyers in the world trying to fight him, or it's difficult to prove her case because it's so long ago. I don't know, it just seems so wrong that people of influence and money can just get away with these things, and it just diminishes the idea of the system, and it diminishes the idea of truth and justice by these kinds of cases ending like this. But there you go, that's the problem with celebrity, with royals and all that kind of thing. It has no place in today's society. We shouldn't have this in our system. We shouldn't have the system that we have. It's just, I don't know, another example of the failings of it. I don't know what would replace it, but it must be something surely we could think of. This system that we live in is thousands of years of thinking of the past. Surely we can think of something better than the way we're living for all of us. Take care, take it easy, God bless, and peace. I was going to finish there, but then I just heard this next bit on Sky News where it says his actual statement. I mean, if say, to be devil's advocate, that he did actually do this, did abuse this lady, maybe others, as he did have a link with Giuffre Epstein, who he brought to the Royal Palace, I believe, and he has been accused of being a paedophile, although he committed suicide before his trial, I believe. If this is true, and then his statement saying, he's given money to a charity and he's going to help out sex traffickers, against sex trafficking and that kind of stuff. If he's actually done that, and then he's got the gall to say these type of things, and he's being allowed to do that, imagine. Can money make that go away?
What negotiations have been going on behind the scenes, and who knows what he hopes will result from his agreement to settle and presumably pay what we know is a substantial sum of money, we've no idea how much it is, to Virginia Giuffre's charity.
And let me just read to you then the statement that we've got at the moment. So Prince Andrew intends to make a substantial donation to Miss Giuffre's charity in support of victims' rights. Prince Andrew has never intended to malign Miss Giuffre's character, and he accepts that she has suffered both as an established victim of abuse and as a result of unfair public attacks. Prince Andrew regrets his association with Epstein and commends the bravery of Miss Giuffre and other survivors in standing up for themselves and others. He pledges to demonstrate his regret for his association with Epstein by supporting the fight against the evils of sex trafficking and supporting its victims. Let's just put the spotlight right now then, Joshua, on Miss Giuffre. And actually the comment that is just coming in there that, Prince Andrew accepts that she has suffered both as an established victim of abuse and as a result of unfair public attacks. This is something that actually has been full on for her, hasn't it, in terms of the attacks that she has undergone following the revelation and her insistence to carry through with this.
Yes, I'm sure there are people who have criticised her for bringing this up now. What Prince Andrew is saying is that these public attacks on her have been unfair. In other words, that she was entitled to bring this complaint, albeit 20 years or more after the event. And when he says he accepts that she has suffered as an established victim of abuse, he doesn't say who has abused her, whose abuse she's suffered from. He certainly doesn't say that he has abused her. There's no personal admission of any sort in this statement. So to that extent, he is distancing himself, but he accepts that she was abused. Now, he may imply by that that she was abused by Jeffrey Epstein, who, of course, took his own life. He's certainly not saying that he abused her, but he is accepting that she was a victim of abuse.
That's no way to keep her happy, if that was her demand. But the thing is, like he says he's going to do it, so people should stand up. When people do stand up, this is what happens. Take care, ladies, and God bless and peace.